afternoon, I'm Raine Musñgi. This is Newsfeed. The Philippines' unemployment rate down in August. Data from the Philippine Statistics Authority show the jobless rate fell to 4% from 4.7% in July. That translates to some 2.1 million unemployed Filipinos. The current rate also lower than the 4.4% recorded a year ago. Meanwhile, the employment rate inched up to 96% in August, up from July's 95.3%. Now let's take a look at how local equities fare. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index took a breather, tracking the overnight weakness on Wall Street on rising Middle East tensions and bets on a smaller Federal Reserve rate cut. After a two-day rally, the PSEi index shed 17 points. But the local barometer trimmed losses in early trade to remain above the 7,500 level at the closing bell. Value turnover eased to 7.4 billion pesos. Advancers beat decliners 109 to 97. Ayala Land was the biggest drag to the main index, losing nearly 5%. Another property heavyweight, SM Prime, dropped 2%, while the weakness of Ayala Land and SM Prime weighed on the property sub-index, which tumbled 2.5% to become the day's biggest loser. Billionaire Kevin Tan is officially joining the board of his family's property business Megaworld Corporation. He takes over from his mother Catherine Tan, who has stepped down from her position. In addition to joining the board, the 45-year-old has also been promoted to executive director. Prior to this, Kevin Tan served as Megaworld's Executive Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer. iPhone maker Foxconn and Nvidia are building the biggest supercomputer in Taiwan. The project, revealed Tuesday at Honhai Tech Day, will be built using Nvidia Blackwell chips. Once fully operational in 2026, Foxconn plans to use the supercomputer to power breakthroughs in cancer research, large language model development, and smart city innovations, positioning Taiwan as a global leader in AI-driven industries. Foxconn also building the world's largest NVIDIA superchip factory to help meet what it describes as an awfully huge demand for Blackwell chips. The company says it is ready for the AI revolution. China fully confident of hitting its growth target for 2024. But Beijing is holding off, announcing more stimulus measures, leaving markets disappointed. China set a growth target of around 5% this year, but it has struggled to reignite business activity due to numerous headwinds, from a prolonged housing crisis to sluggish consumption and a severe property downturn. President Bongbong Marcos is on his way to Laos to attend this year's ASEAN Summit. During the regional meeting, the president said he will again raise the West Philippine Sea issue in light of what he calls recent dangerous incidents in the disputed waters.
As we continue to grapple with sharpening regional tensions, including the recent dangerous incidents in the West Philippine Sea, I intend to champion our advocacies in promoting an open, inclusive, and rules-based international order, and for the peaceful resolution of any disputes in accordance with international law. This administration will continue to ensure that our constructive and deepening engagements with ASEAN, our dialogue partners, and stakeholders serve our national interest and the well-being of the Filipino people.
ASEAN leaders are also expected to tackle global tensions like the war in Ukraine and the crisis in the Middle East. The president said the government is doing everything it can to ensure the safety of over 40,000 Filipinos in Israel and Lebanon. He also called on all parties to stop further escalation and to work towards a peaceful resolution of the conflict.
I am glad to report that no Filipino has been reported injured in the crisis that we hear about in the news, and to the waves of attacks against Hezbollah targets in the past few days and the consequent Iranian reprisal against Israel. Our embassies have been coordinating with the Filipino community on this matter and working on securing exit papers and transportation for those returning.
On the lighter side of the news, an English auction house is hosting one of the world's largest sales of film and TV memorabilia. Prop Store will feature 1,800 items worn or used by some of Hollywood's biggest names, with plenty from some of cinema's biggest franchises like Star Wars, Batman, James Bond, and Harry Potter. The auction will run from November 14 to 17. It is estimated to fetch over £10 million, or more than $13 million.
I think the buyers for props and costumes just is incredibly mixed and diverse, to be honest with you. We see some pieces go to museums, they go into institutions, they go to exhibitions for event, but we also see very passionate collectors who want to acquire these and have them and own them personally.
And here's another career peak for global pop superstar Taylor Swift. She's now officially the richest female musician in the world. Forbes estimated her net worth at $1.6 billion. She surpassed Rihanna thanks to her growing record sales and the success of her Eras tour. Taylor's record-breaking tour propelled her into billionaire status in 2023. Her wealth is estimated to be made up of $600 million in concert sales and royalties, another $600 million from her music catalog, and about $100 million in real estate. And before we go, here's a look at today's market winners and losers. And those are the news this hour. I'm Raine Musñgi. Stay tuned to BNC on Free TV Channel 31, Channel 24 on Cignal, and on our website, bnc.ph. Thanks for watching.